Dear ladies and gentlemen, thank you for this opportunity to share with you my presentation on green education in the Netherlands. My name is Jan Steverink and I work for Groenpact, the network for the green sector in the Netherlands. The future is green, and Groenpact was established to accelerate innovations in the green sector together. The green sector is agriculture, horticulture, livestock production, forestry, aquaculture, forestry, urban greening, animal care, veterinary nursing, farm mechanization and farm contracting. Groenpact is a network in which the Dutch government, the education sector and the private sector work together to tackle issues related to the green sector. This could be about innovation, technology and development, but also about challenges like climate change, damage to the environment and nature restoration. Sometimes these two go hand in hand. In this diagram, we show you the integrated approach for the transition issues in the green sector. That's where it all starts from. The different stakeholders will look at these issues from their own perspective. So, private sector, education and government, each from their own perspective. In the Groenpact organization, there is a basic infrastructure for governance, communication, etc. And there are different work field arrangements where the stakeholders meet to tackle the above mentioned issues. For example, climate change. What is the government policy? What do businesses need? And how can education pick this up? By picking up a topic together, suitable solutions can be found quicker and better. For specific themes, there is an acceleration program to give extra attention and energy. We have the acceleration program for labor markets, digitalization and technology, internationalization and knowledge management. We believe that international orientation is vital for the green sector and therefore green education should also have an international orientation. And for that reason there is an acceleration program for internationalization and I work for this program. All public education institutes that offer courses in the green sector participate in Groenpact. These are schools for junior vocational education, senior vocational education, universities of applied sciences and the Agricultural University in Wageningen. And some 80 businesses also take part in the working groups and acceleration programs. Sometimes they are private companies and sometimes they are networks of different companies together and organizations. The government is also represented, where the Ministry of Agriculture on the outermost right is the most prominent and providing funding for the organization. We believe that in this way, green education is always on top of things. When there are developments and innovations, we can pick these up very quickly and develop new courses very rapidly. Now, here's a diagram showing the Dutch education system. Children go to kindergarten and elementary school until they are 12 years old. Then they choose a pathway from practical to theoretical education or scientific according to their needs and capacity. And after that, depending on the choice that they made earlier, they can choose for secondary vocational education, University of Applied Sciences or university, where they start with a bachelor program and can continue for a master or a PhD. Something about the role of the government. We do have a centralized education policy in the Netherlands, but there is decentralized administration and management of schools. Schools usually receive a lump sum to do their own business, and the government is supporting them with the policies. In vocational education, it means that what should be taught is defined on central government level. That is the qualification structure that I will explain more about later, and examination requirements and a few more, qualification of teaching staff, etc., etc. That is defined by the government at central level, and the rest, how education is done, is up to the schools. The organization, the accommodation, curriculum on the basis of a prescribed qualification dossier, of course, comes back later. Didactical approach, teaching materials, use of ICT, all that can be determined by the schools themselves. So what is defined by the government, how it is done, is up to the schools. That makes it sometimes a bit complicated because schools will have to develop their own curriculum and their own lessons, but it also gives a lot of flexibility and possibilities for regional adaptation of the curriculum to the regional needs. As mentioned before, the government issues the qualification files. Qualification files are developed by SBB. SBB I will explain about later. SBB does that together with the sector and with the schools. Every qualification file has a broad basis with subjects like mathematics, languages, work safety, but also basic subjects for this qualification like biology, animal nutrition, and the students can then choose their own profile. For example, farm worker or farm manager, or dairy farmer, pig farmer. And finally, they can choose minors. Minors like entrepreneurship, organic farming, precision agriculture, and so on. That is completely up to them. Their whole study program is built from the basis, plus profile, plus the minors, and it will last for 3 years on average. Next, something about education costs. Students do pay tuition fees. Only when they are under 18 years old, education is free in the Netherlands. When they are over 18 years, they pay for vocational education 1,357 euros per year, and for higher education it is 2,314 euros per year. Then the government is funding the schools, so not the students, but they are funding the schools directly through a lump sum, and in vocational education we get 7,000 euros per year per student. In universities of applied sciences we receive 9,700 euros per student per year, and in university education we receive 8,700 euros per student per year. Then students themselves, they may receive a grant from the government. They have to apply for it from the Ministry of Education, and they can receive amounts depending on their situation. When they are still living with their parents, they can receive 100 euros per month. If they are going to live on their own, they have to pay rent and they have to pay for their own costs of living. Then they can receive 500 euros per month. They can take an optional extra loan. You have to pay a low interest rate, and there are good conditions for the repayment of the loan, up to 650 euros per month. And on top of that, students in vocational and higher education can receive free travel on public transport. For vocational education, the world of work is very important. The world of work consists of, for instance, farmers, farming industries, farm mechanization companies, garden centers, but also florists, pet shops, veterinary clinics, anything, any enterprise or any business that is working in the green sector is considered the world of work. Why are they so important for us? Because they represent the future employers of our students. if they want to work in that sector, they have to know how the sector works and who are the people who are working there. We also regard the people in the sector who are working in the businesses or in the industry as role models. They can set an example for our students. This is what I want to be, this is how I want to work in the future. The world of work is also very important to provide internship placements. We cannot have a vocational education program without internship, without any exposure to the world of work, and we need the farms and the companies to provide these internship placements. They also play a role in the assessment of our students. What we usually do is we go to the farm or to the company where a teacher from the school or an assessor from the school and the farmer or the business owner is also assessing the students. They can also be used for providing guest lectures in the school or at the farm, and they give feedback on courses and curricula in sounding boards for the different courses. This is an example of a group of students getting a guest lecture from a farmer on the farm. Our students in the veterinary nurses department, they do their internships in veterinary clinics, so we have to cooperate very closely with the veterinarians in the region, and sometimes our students are also involved in projects. In this case, they have helped a small farm in designing the layout of the farm and the buildings and the greening around it. As said before, there is this agency SBB, samenwerking tussen beroepsonderwijs en bedrijfsleven. So that's a cooperation between education and the world of work. And SBB carries out tasks on the instruction of the Ministry of Education, Culture and Science, such as the accreditation and coaching of work placement companies, for work practice placements and also for apprenticeships. So they look at the quality of these companies, and they also coach the company owners in how to guide students and how to be part of their education. SBB also plays a role in the development of the qualification structure. As I mentioned before, the building up of the basis, the profile and the minors. That is also a task that is given to SBB. And to provide information about practice placements, work placements and the labor market. They have very nice overviews of job opportunities in a specific sector, in a specific region. So even before they start their education, students and their parents can already check, if I choose this course, will there be a job opportunity for me in the future? That's also a task of SBB. They have a large database of companies that are willing to receive students for internship and apprenticeships. And that is why this sign, we train skilled people, can be found on many small and medium-sized businesses in the Netherlands, where they are quite proud to be part of the learning process of our students. This was in brief my presentation. I thank you very much for your kind attention. If you have further questions or if you wish to discuss international cooperation in the future, please do not hesitate to contact me. That's my mail address, jsteverink@zoon.college, or the website of greeneducationnl.org. I hope you enjoyed this presentation and I wish you a very nice day. Thank you very much.